Barkevisser, the modern day mystic, as she helps you find your personal intuitive uniqueness and universal alignment for a more meaningful life. You're listening to The Modern Day Mystic with your host, Cynthia Barkevisser.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Cynthia Varkevisser, your modern day mystic, and happy Monday to you. Today, I thought it would be a lot of fun if we were to talk about the meandering path or the journey. I'll be talking for just a little bit, and then I'll be taking on callers for readings in just a little bit. So please feel free to come on in and chat with me online, or please give me a call at area code 657-383-0608. Then you press 1 if you want to talk with me. And I promise I will get to you in just a few minutes. So what the heck is the meandering path? To me, the meandering path is the experience that you gain throughout your life. As some of you may know, I am walking into my 50th year, and I'm extremely excited. And it also means that a lot of my schoolmates have just turned 50 or about to turn 50. Some of my favorite people, the twins, the Buop twins, are turning 50 today. So happy birthday to Tim and Tina Buop. And this turning of 50 has me thinking about this journey. A lot of people come to me and they talk about regrets, and they talk about the things that they call mistakes. And they're really not. It's just a part of your meandering path. One of my favorite sayings is that, it's the meandering path that is your shortest distance between point A and point B. It's not the straight line. Experience has a lot to do with it. So I thought I might tell you a little bit about my meandering path, and then talk about other things from there. So started off first generation American. My family came from Indonesia, and my parents met here in Berkeley, California. Strange place to meet if you're both from Indonesia, but there you have it. That's how it happened. And lucky them, I was born to them almost 50 years ago. It was really interesting to be born in the Bay Area as a first-generation American, not really knowing that what we were doing as a family was not entirely American. So while other people were talking about sports and things on Sunday evening family dinners, my family would sit around and talk about what happened in Indonesia, what happened while they were in the Netherlands. They talked about ghosts. They talked about past loved ones and the things that happened after they passed on. In my belief system, and my family's belief system, after someone passes, they have 40 days to walk around and settle up. And they don't have to settle up by doing that crazy ghostly visit, but it can be something very what is that called? Very muted, very soft. So, after someone passes, it's really nice to know that everyone around, all the loved ones, are looking for signs. So, I had no idea that was not what everybody talked about on Sundays, but that's what we did. And so it wasn't a surprise when we talked about readings, or we talked about meeting the healers and all the things that happened. They didn't, also in Indonesia, you didn't have the most advanced medicine. So it was called, they went to and got jamu, which is the herbs and the drinks and the poultices to help heal. So it was very much mystical in that you still communed with nature. Now, moving forward, it didn't come as a surprise that my grandfather came to visit me when I was 14 years old. He had passed away when I was 3. It was in the middle of the night. I didn't know who he was, and I had my brother with me because he was 5 years old, and we would sometimes, sleep together. At that time, it was because I watched my first Jason movie. I was super scared, but I didn't want to admit it, so I had my brother stay with me and check into my beds and, look at the closets and all that stuff. But in the middle of the night, for no reason, I woke up and I saw this man looking over my brother. And I knew I wasn't dreaming, but there was really nothing to really explain it. So I did the bravest thing I could do, which is I tucked my brother close to me and I closed my eyes and I forced myself back to sleep and I didn't tell a soul. 6 months later, we had a friend come over, and she was a psychic, and she was, this was a psychic of the 70s, so she was into King Tut and all these Egyptian things, and then she did a little bit of Native American stuff. But anyway, so during our visit, she talked to my dad and said, "Hey, your dad came to visit you in the middle of the night." And my dad says, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And she says, "No, no, no, he did. It was in the middle of the night. He had never seen his grandson. He wanted to see what his grandson looked like, and you accidentally woke up. He didn't mean for anything to happen, and he didn't want you to be afraid, but you saw him." And I realized what was going on. My stomach started turning like crazy, and I thought I was going to vomit. But I didn't say a word, and my dad kept denying it. And so our little friend cocked her head to the side a little bit as if she was listening, because I'm sure she was. And then she took her little pointer finger and she pointed at me and she says, "It was you." And I said, "Yes." I think I kind of croaked it because I was just that sick. And my family was so excited to know that I had, seen my grandfather, that I connected to the other side, that I'm surprised that I was as worried as I was. I thought that people would think I was crazy. So that was my first visit with the first step on my meandering path. When I found out that I was clairvoyant, I asked the psychic, our friend, how to train, and she says, you're a little young. Why don't you just go ahead and live your life, and then come back to me in a couple of years. So as a teenager, a couple of years is a super long time, so I completely forgot, and had my life and played sports and had boyfriends and did a lot of crazy stuff that suburban kids do, and then the next thing that happened was that my mom's best friend happened to meet this woman who cuts hair and also did readings. And my mom went and saw her, and as a gift, she had me meet this person. And this person was amazing and scary and to the point, and I decided that I didn't like her. It was just too much. And so I poo-pooed the whole thing, and I didn't think about her for a year. And I had my job. I kept doing my stuff. And a year later, something happened. My grandmother had passed, and I decided to go visit her again. I went to on our visit. She talked to me about my grandmother, and it was such a different reading. I believe she was the same. I actually got a little bit. I was a little bit more mature. Thank goodness, right? And I said, you are so amazing. Your readings are so good. I would love to tell my dad about you. And she cocked her head to the side as if she was listening, and I'm sure she was. And she says, it's funny. I just don't see him visiting me. And 2 months later, my father passed away suddenly, and that was my second knock on the door for my meandering path. Now, I had a job, I was going to school, but here's this knocking that's happening. So, I started seeing this person a little bit, and what I wanted to do after that was, I wanted to investigate what this reading stuff is all about. But mind you, this took about 6 or 7 years. And in the meantime, I got married. I had 2 beautiful twin girls. And I found out that I was super lonely. And my husband at the time said, why don't you just go visit her? Just go visit this person. Go. And so I did. And wouldn't you know it, the other reading was good again. That's my third knock on the door. And she says, I'm teaching classes. So I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm a new mom. It's very responsible of me to stay with my kids and, teach them all the things that I know. Little did I know, I was a stressed out B word. And my husband says, why don't you just go visit, relax, let the kids and I get to know each other, and you just go and do that thing. So then he gave me a kiss. He walked me out the door, and he locked it. And I want you to know that we had a certain lock on the inside so that I couldn't get back in. And he did, and then he waved to me, and he walked away. And I cried for, I don't know. I boohooed for at least a good minute. Then I got in my car and went to class. And wouldn't you know it, it was the most amazing time I ever had, and I became hooked. And, I'd go to a few classes, and then I'd say, I'm not going to go. And then my husband at the time would say, you know, when you go, you are so relaxed. You come home so relaxed and so happy that it is lovely to be with you. And then you start stressing out a little bit and become more uptight. And he says, so if you can't do it for me, if you can't do it for yourself, do it for the family. And so I started going. And and there it happened. So then I started stepping onto the path. It doesn't mean I did anything besides readings. I wasn't even close. I was still having fun with it, but I was, still doing. I was going to the classes, and I was doing work in construction. Now I'm going to stop right here because I tend to meander, and I know I'm a chatty Cathy, but to let you know that you're more than welcome as soon as I'm done with this story to call in at 657-383-0608 and press 1, and we will do readings. And I'm really excited to hear about your path or what you feel is, a stuck place, and we'll move on from there. So anyway, I'm working in construction. I'm having a great job. I'm doing these things, having these classes. I'm having such a good time that one of my coworkers said, you are so enthusiastic about this. Why don't you teach me? And so we gathered together. I thought it was going to be like a social thing because it would be fun for me to go out. And the class was 3 people. That ended to be 4 people. That ended to be 6 people. Ended up to be a dozen people. And that's how classes started. And again, that was another knock on the door. But in the meantime, I decided to work with my husband and stay in construction. And here I am, this is halfway through my story. I'm sorry it's taking so long, but I'm just loving my story, my journey. But anyway, so going back, I just wanted to tell you there was a moment in time when I just felt super stuck. I couldn't handle it anymore. I was in my construction. I wanted to do something different. And I just felt stuck. And the weirdest thing that started happening is I started having these coughing fits, and they got progressively worse. And this was in the office where I had to talk with people, a lot of people, and answer phones. And it got to be so bad that I started choking, and I couldn't breathe. And I would sweat, and tears would come to my eyes, and it was horrible. And that's when I knew I just had to quit. And so I quit that job and decided I'm just going to, I don't know, maybe I'll write a book, maybe I'll do whatever. And what I ended up doing was I ended up being a mom. And I was a mom first, and I did independent contracting jobs, and then I would do a little bit of readings. So again, here we are on the meandering path. As I was going along, I started connecting more and more with my teacher, who now I call my Swami Mommy. If you guys haven't heard me talk about her before, she's amazing. And it's taken 49 years to get to this place saying, hey, I'm a modern-day mystic. I walk the practical path, and I do it using my intuition and my emotions and listening to the universe, which is amazing. So what I'd like to do is when we have a moment, I'd love to open it up, the calls. In the meantime, I wanted to tell you that this was prompted by 2 things. I had a phone call today by this woman she's so bright and so lovable, and she has the most infectious laugh that as soon as she starts talking, her voice just has you calm down and relax. And she's feeling like she can't commit to anything. And I was thinking, this woman, as much as she's saying she can't commit, I feel bad because in a way she's in pain because she's not feeling that she's on her path. And the funny thing is that she's exactly where she needs to be. She is exactly on her path. And I think about my Swami Mommy, who was a hairdresser, and she would go to these classes, and it took her, I think, till her 45th birthday or 46th birthday in order to say, I'm going to go ahead and start doing readings. And her business took off, and she's amazing. Another thing that comes to mind is the book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I highly recommend. If you haven't read it, please do. It's a fable about following your dream, and again, it's about this meandering path, but it's always going in this forward direction. So, Tana, I would love to open this up whenever you're ready. People who are on the phone, please press 1 and I will take a call and we'll hang out for just a little bit and then I will go to break. So let's see. I have a caller, Kathy. She's from North Carolina. Let's see. I would love to be able to talk to her when there's a moment. Tana, will you be able to? Oh, and we lost her. I'm so sad, Kathy. I'm so sad that we didn't get to connect. Please call back in to 657-383-0608 and press 1, and I'll make sure that we get in touch. So, Tana, can we go ahead and may I speak with Eduardo?
Hello.
Hey, Ed. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, thanks for calling in. How can I help you today?
Well, I wanted to see if you could give me a message or validation in regards to success and abundance. I've been working on that, so I want to see if anything comes through in regards to that, or should I be a little more specific?
Well, if I could please, I should have told you this in the beginning of the show, and I apologize. But if I could get your age and your birth month, that helps me connect to you, and then I should be able to. Okay, go ahead. Can I get your age?
Sure. 43, and I'm born in June.
Yeah. Okay. So you're doing some really good work. The money and the abundance is going to take just a little bit longer, so hang tight. There is a piece of you now. You've been doing some really good footwork, but I would like you to go and investigate your emotional homework just a little bit longer, a little bit more. There's some, let's just call them hard feelings. There's some hard feelings that are still sitting in your body, and if they're sitting in your body, that means that they're also in your thoughts, right? And so if you can just get that cleared just a little bit more, then what will happen is that it'll help your energy of abundance go a little bit. Now, hold on one second. Let me rephrase. By really investigating your emotions, because there's some emotional stuff going on with abundance and your past. Do you understand what I'm saying about that? Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. I understand.
Okay. So you're doing some really good homework. You're really good homework on one aspect, but on the emotional side, just doing some homework on the emotional side, that's the part that's holding you back. And it's not that you're ignoring it. It's just that it's so much in the background, and it's so. You think about the grime on the floor. You know what I mean? It's just that it almost looks like it's part of the flooring because it's been there for so long. It's about really scraping down and getting to the last little bits. And what'll happen is that you'll be in more alignment, and then the abundance will happen a little bit farther. But you're doing really well. Do you want to talk about it a little bit more, or do you want me to just keep going as we are?
No. If you're open to it, of course I'll be glad to.
Okay.
Continue,
Is there
yeah.
Sure. Now, is it anything in particular when we're talking about abundance? There's a couple of things that are happening for you. There's a materialistic side for you, and then there's also a part about relief that has to do with abundance for you. So, which part did you want to talk about? Because they're both related, but if you talk about one, then the other one gets addressed.
Oh, I see. You said release.
Relief. You know, like when you feel relief, when you feel when you get relaxed, or you know.
Yeah. Well, probably relief. I guess
okay.
That's the intention that if that's the best we need to talk about.
Yeah. Well, you like I said, if you talk about one, if we address one, then usually both get addressed. So
okay.
Here's what I'm getting is that there is a part of you that really wants to kick butt. I mean, like really kick butt and show everybody who you are and what's going on. And you really want to go out like a soldier, I guess is the best way to say it, or like a hero, and really move forward. There's nothing quiet in the way that you want to do this, have this abundance, okay? But there's a part of you that is still a little bit nervous about what if I'm wrong. It's just really old stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's the homework that needs to happen.
Okay. So nervous or what if things go wrong, whatever, something like that.
Pretty much. There's you're kind of a second guesser, but more than anything else, it's almost as if you're worried that if you misstep, that then you're going to go off in the wrong direction, and then you're screwed up, and then you have to self-correct. The truth is that just by investigating your emotions, so I would recommend journaling every day for the next, 5 to 10 days, but really investigating. So be quiet. Don't just give yourself lip service, and just go into that emotional stuff, like what is it you're really afraid of. And then what you're going to find out is that the stuff that you're afraid of is so old that once you see it on paper, it's kind of ridiculous, and then you're going to be able to move forward. Otherwise, you're always walking at 80%, which is great, because that's 80% is a solid B, but you're at a place right now where you really want to kick butt in a way that I'm a little bit jealous. I wish I had that desire that you have.
Yeah, actually, that really describes me, so that's great.
Yeah, you are. I really wish I had that. So, does that help you out a little bit about, that's the only part that's holding you back. You're doing your physical footwork brilliantly, and you're pretty diligent about it, but the emotional stuff just needs to catch up. So
okay, all right. Great. Yeah, I know EFT, and I know a couple of things that I can do, to release those. It's just a matter of pinpointing them,
Well, here's the thing. I will not knock EFT. I will not knock any of the other modalities. But for you, in this particular instance, it's really important for you to actually journal, because you have to see it for your very own eyes, okay, what it is, because it's easy for you to just let it go. So I need to get on to another caller. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much. And feel free to call me again. All right?
Well, thank you. Take care.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. I have Kathy from North Carolina. Whenever you're ready, I will be happy to talk with you.
Hi. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really grateful today. Thank you so much for asking. I have a good life, really good life. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. So my goal is to help you out. So how can I help you?
I have got so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Any special messages that you can give to me? I have my mother, who is bipolar, narcissistic, has dementia. It's a lot on my mind with her, trying to take care of her. I have a lot of anxiety.
I can feel that. I feel that.
I want to heal.
Sure.
And I don't know how to heal.
Okay. Here's the beauty of where you are right now. You're at a place where, as much as you got everything going on, you're at a place where you're saying, you know what, I have got to figure out what's really super important to me. So I call this your foundation time. And it's a really good time for you to check out what is really holding you up. For most people, the foundation is, one of the big building blocks of foundation is, me time. The other big block of foundation is family time. And then the third block of foundation is community time, or social time, or entertainment time. For you, your foundation has crumbled down to where all you have is family time. And there's no social time that's happening at all. And you've kind of lost your identity a little bit, because your identity now is only in your actions and not with, your true intentions and with who you are. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I can feel I just want you to know that your pain is, more than anything, is not guilt-driven. It's anxiety-driven. It's important for you to understand that, because guilt is one thing, right? That's one thing that needs to be addressed. Anxiety is different.
Right.
And you will not make a misstep. I promise you. You're such a loving person, and you understand devotion better than anybody I've met recently, that it's really important now for you to step back and you have to start taking care of yourself. Now, remember I told you that there are at least, if you think about any foundation, you need to have at least 3 legs or 3 blocks, because I like to think of it as blocks. And you only have 1 block right now, and that block is family. And even though you're only talking about your mom, it's how you feel like your family views you that also is taking up a whole lot of your energy and your identity. So now's the time to ask for help, to ask for big help, and just allow yourself 1 hour a day. That's 1 hour. That's 1/24th of your day. That's it, 1/24th. That's all you're asking for, and to devote it to yourself. And you can be as frivolous as you want to be. So if you want to go and get your hair dyed purple in that 1 hour, go get your hair dyed purple, if it isn't already purple, right? If you want to go and just sit outside and listen to the birds, then you go outside and listen to the birds. But it's got to be 1 hour of unblocked, unblocked. Oh, not unblocked, but what's that called when with no distractions? So you have no distractions in this 1 hour. And the reason you need to do that is because using 1/24th of your day, it will help you recreate that second building block. And it will help you understand, okay, this is my foundation. And when you have this foundation, remember the foundation is what helps you stand up, right? What helps boost you and helps support you. And you need that. Now, once that happens, the other thing is that you're not such a sharer, okay? Do you know what I'm saying about not being such a sharer? You are really, you're pretty poised, and you're pretty brave. And part of bravery, believe it or not, is to tell people how hard it is for you right now. And you are, on the scale of 1 to 10, you're barely making a 4 and telling people how tough it is. Okay? So it's time to get really honest. You don't have to tell everybody, but it's time to start telling somebody. Okay? Now, once that happens, guess what happens? It's crazy. What happens is that you're taking care of yourself, that building block grows, but then your social life grows, which is your community, your help. And now that's what brings you back into balance. Okay? I'm really sorry, my friend, that you've got burnout right now. I'm really sorry that you do. And just know that it's not your balance is not that far away, but it will take diligence. And that's the diligence is 1 hour. 1 hour a day. All right. Okay. Hey, and just so you know, if you want it to be 6 p.m., let it be 6 p.m. If it's 2 in the afternoon, let it be 2 in the afternoon. You call the shot on when that respite is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And you want to take it. You want to take that time away from the caregiving time, not from sleep, not from eating, not from all the other stuff that's required to just take care of your body, but from your caregiving. Oh, and I hear that you're taking care. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And when I try to talk to my children about I need time, I just need my time, then they just they put me down for it.
Well, just so you know, you don't have to ask your kids. You can ask anybody else. And the other is to come up with a solution. And my personal favorite is to say, I'd really like your help. Instead of saying I need, I'd really like your help. For some reason, what that does is that it's the words smooth over just a little bit more. Okay. And the other is to ask more than just your kids. Asking your kids is a setup, right? And the reason it's a setup is spiritually or intuitively, your kids are an extension of you. So every time they say no, not only are you not getting the help, but you're feeling really disappointed because the kids are not treating you with the reverence and respect that you'd like, right? So now's the time to ask out for outside help. And then once that happens, then you can go ahead and ask your kids, as a supplement. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You feeling a little bit better?
I am.
You're not that far away.
Thank you so much.
You are absolutely welcome. Please feel free to call back in any time, all right?
All right. Thank you.
All right.
God
sure,
bless.
Thank you.
All right.
God bless you as well. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you. All
Bye.
right. Bye. All right. Okay, so next I have Michelle in Berkeley, and would love to talk to her about her professional program. Michelle, you ready to call it? Press 1?
I am ready.
Ta-da! How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you. So you got a professional program going on?
I do. I have a program that I'm putting together.
Excellent.
And looking at rolling it out, starting to roll it out at the end of the year, fall, to start putting this into action. And I wanted to get some feedback from you of how you see this coming together.
You know what? Your timing is perfect right now. You're using your momentum. You've got a pretty good game plan. You're allowing for some flexibility, and you're in this year. I don't know if you realize this, but this is a year it's beyond manifesting. So if you keep with the momentum and keep with the belief system, everything's going to keep going your way. Just so you know.
Okay.
I see this happening in the late fall towards early winter. So it's a little bit longer than what you expect, and it's going to be a little bit more on the ground level than you expect. But you have a great program going on. So can I ask a little bit about your program?
It's helping people basically learning how to release the limiting beliefs that they have. I think you were talking about a little bit earlier how things that have happened in our lives get stored in our body. I've come up with a process that allows people to release it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and then the other part that I added to it was also forgiveness. And when I added that piece, I found that people walked away feeling better. I mean, there was a sense of happiness at the end.
Right.
So that you may be looking at old stuff, but when you add the forgiveness in, it actually changes. There's a definite change in how you come out of the session.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I actually want you to know that you are going to have a niche market, and the niche market are the people who are a little bit compartmentalized, meaning that they have their work, they have their intuitive self, but they're not blending the two. And you're the one that's going to bring the two together so that there's a little bit of relief. They feel like they're more of themselves when they're at work, and a little bit more relaxed when they get home. So right now, a lot of people are starting to realize that compartmentalizing isn't working, and you're the one that's going to help bring it together. It's really amazing. The one thing I did want to tell you is that you are very interactive, and it's important for you to keep interactive. So if you are going to grow your business and you want to have other facilitators, it will be very important for you to keep the pulse on your facilitators. Not because you're going to be afraid that they're going to veer off or do something bad, but because you love being that connected. So just allow yourself and just go, hey, part of being a facilitator is that we will meet every other month and we spend 3 hours or 2 hours and we'll do updates and we'll share blah, 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 and that you keep a pulse on your facilitators, because I do see it growing, and I do see it reaching out, but on the grassroots level, so local, spread out, and then it's going to come it's going to jump, meaning that it's going to go, 1 city, 2 cities, 3 cities, couple of counties, and then it's going to jump state lines. So, and that's really exciting because I don't know how you feel about travel right now, but I see it happening. Not a whole lot in the beginning, but just the thought that you get to travel for your business is super, super exciting.
And do you see it facilitators is definitely part of the plan? And travel is definitely part of the plan.
Is that all right with you? Because, this is the year where you get to shift it up however you want. I recommend it because for you, you are a proof is in the pudding type of girl. So if you wouldn't believe that it was as successful as it is if you weren't traveling. You wouldn't believe it was as successful as it is if you didn't have facilitators, because your facilitators are going to be your number one advocate. See what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah, but it's going to start small, but you're so interactive. Right. The facilitators will come a little bit later down the road, and even though I'm telling you today, it's still going to come as a surprise because you're so interactive. You're so, you're going to be so involved in your program. So,
okay.
Yeah, but really, give yourself a little bit more time, okay?
Okay, shall do.
All right, and
thank
Joy,
you.
Come back to me when you hear about it. I would love to have you on the show and talk more about it.
Okay, great.
Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. My next caller is Pam, and from 209 area code. Oh, I apologize. I would love to talk to Pam, but first I have to go to commercial. So during the break, if you'd like to call me, please feel free to do so. Area code 657-383-0608, and then press 1 if you want to talk to me. All right, I'll catch you on the other side of the commercial.
Experience the magic of Angel Heart for You, nestled in the heart of beautiful downtown Benicia, California. Embrace the aroma of scented candles, essential oils, incense, and aromatherapy products as you wander the aisles of inspirational and metaphysical books and gifts. Enjoy the positive energy vibrating in this historical site where the well-known author Jack London was once a frequent visitor. If you're in need of a smile or a hug, Angel Heart for You is the place to visit. Do you have an intention or a wish to manifest? Experience the magic of our intention tree. Email us at angelheartforyourradiochannel@gmail.com and be included in our sacred intention tree ritual. Just write us your intention and we'll offer it up in fire along with those left in our store. Then offer them again to the beach and water in Benicia. May angels be with you in all your comings and goings. Love, Angel Heart for You. Join us for the experience of a lifetime. Sacred Connections Sedona Retreats invites you to a powerful 3-day retreat in the beauty of the high desert. People travel from all over the world just to experience the healing vortexes in Sedona, Arizona. Through a series of mindful meditations and spiritual activities amongst the Red Rocks, let the land call you home to your higher self and source. Surrender, transform, Sedona. Sacred Connections Sedona Retreat is hosted by Angel Heart for You radio hosts Tana Newberry and Linda Grindell. Learn more at www.sacredconnectionssedona.com.
Artificer, you're a modern-day mystic. Listen, we have a few people on the phones and in the chat room, and I'd love to get to everyone. So please call 657-383-0608 and press 1 if you want to talk with me. If for some reason I cannot get to you today, please know that I have another show on Friday. I will always be doing readings and would love to take your call then. I'm also happy to help with you one-on-one, as well as invite you to my classes and group readings. So we are back, and now I would love to talk with Pam, who is out in the 209 area code.
Hello.
Hey, Pam, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Cindy?
I'm great. I'm so happy to hear from you. How are you, Pam?
I'm good. I'm really good.
What's going on?
We had a few, little hiccups in our life here because Thomas has been in the hospital 9 days, and my leg got broken, in January, and so it's just a lot of things going on. It's really awkward weird, I guess is a better word, because, a year ago my mom passed away in February, and as you know, my dad has been kind of sick, and so been going through some emotional issues, and Thomas wanted me to find out, what your feelings were about him getting better and stuff like that. Again? How old is Thomas? He is 38.
38. And when's his birthday? Birth month?
In September.
He's a September baby like me. I forgot. He's poor guy. He's going to be fine. It's actually going to be a pretty slow road to recovery. In his mind, he's going to be when it comes to timelines. When you talk to the doctors, he's going to be on the slower side of normal, but he's within the normal recovery time. But it's really scary for him because this is absolutely new, and he's not really sure what's going on. And with all the changes going on outside that he can't control, that just kind of adds to his anxiety. So tell Thomas that first, please tell him I love him. He's so sweet. But to tell him that he's going to do well, that it's going to be a little bit longer than what the doctors say, but it's definitely going to happen. He just happens to be on, with the recovery, he's fine. It's just everything about him is just a little bit slower. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So not to worry. So the other thing too is when I talk about full recovery, he's going to feel a little bit, so it's not going to feel like full recovery for him, but it is going to be full recovery in terms of the body. Okay?
Oh, good.
Okay, so that's the important part. Now, for you, what I want you to know is that you, my friend, are you're one of those people that just keep marching forward, right? Move, 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 move. You don't want to move. You never move so fast that you're going to mess up, and you never move so slow that you're standing still, right? So it's all about this gait. Well, I hate to break it to you. What the universe is saying is it's time to vary up that cadence. Instead of just we're focusing on movement, it's time to really focus on what's happening within your experience. So I saw, I heard about your dad, and I'm really sorry that he hasn't been feeling well. But I'm going to use that as an example. This is the time for you to be okay to not do anything and just cry. And sit down and review and cry. And don't be surprised if, as you're crying about your dad, it's going to blend into, saying goodbye to your mom because, it's been the 1 year anniversary and things have shifted. And so energetically you're ready to move on, but emotionally you're still tied up a little bit on that piece, And I want you to know that you're going to keep having these I won't call it breaks, but you're going to keep having these little things happen, not as big as this dang break that you got, but you're going to keep having these breaks that you don't, okay?
Okay.
So, all right. So cry, 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 be angry, be angry, be angry, sit still for a little bit, allow that to happen. And just so you know, how's your exercise going?
It's not going so good because my leg is broken, so I'm on crutches. So I'm doing it. I'm really doing more than I should be doing because I'm here with Thomas alone. So it's pretty much I'm taking care of him and me. So I'm doing more walking than they advised me to do. But I'm glad to be doing that because he can't do it himself.
Right. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to spend just a few minutes a day and really think about exercise, not as, you doing the stuff that you're doing, because you're kind of multitasking your exercise, like what you're saying, and just focus on exercise. So what that would look like is And what I'm hearing is that core work would be really good for you. So if you can get in and do some core work, just a little bit, and use that as your breakthrough. So I'll give you an example. If you can do 5 sit-ups today, then what I'd like you to do is go, okay, I just did 5. Now I'm just going to crack out 2 more.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right. So I have to get going. I'm so sorry I can't talk with you more. But
no, that's good. I'm glad I got to talk to you.
Oh, great. Thank you. All right. I will be talking to you soon.
Okay, bye, honey.
Bye. See ya. Okay, so I would like to speak with the next caller, Greg from Pennsylvania.
Hello.
Hey, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Great. So I heard that you got some really good work coming up. How can let's hear about it.
Well, lately, when it comes to, spiritual and meditation, for a while I was, I kept getting this message that I was getting too many downloads. And lately, probably over the last couple of weeks, it's been kind of revealed, and I know I got a whole lot more to go. Maybe at some level, not really knowing it, that both myself and a lot of people were kind of like sending their intentions out into the group mind, so to speak. Almost like looking for approval.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And even whenever I laid down at night kind of meditating on it, I received the messages like, you've been doing this for 2,000 years, and I was trying to, decipher what that was. And I think maybe it has to do with the way tribes and people made decisions in the past, because of how things would affect the group. But now it's kind of being revealed to me that, at the same time I was receiving those messages, like I should be able to maintain all that intent within my own energy field, so to speak, to manifest it where I want, and that and not to send things that aren't even fully formed thoughts yet or fully formed intentions out into the atmosphere looking for approval.
Well, you know what? I totally agree with you. And let me just add to this, because this is how I'm feeling about 2016, and you're right on line with it, which is we are having a whole lot of downloads, but this is the year of action. So the downloads would come less if we get our download and then we act upon it, and then the next. So it's almost like marching orders, right? So it's like we're going to go down the street. It says go down the street, so then we go down the street, and then the next download will happen. So that's what I believe is happening. I believe I totally agree with you that there's been a lot of information, and because of the overload, that there's been confusion, especially in 2015. But 2016 is the year of action. So I am really excited for you. I would love for you to call back. May I go ahead and have us talk offline so that we can talk a little bit more for a future show?
Yeah, it's no problem.
That'd be great. Okay.
You have my Skype number? You can just
I do. You know what I'd like you to do is if you can go ahead and pop it into the chat room, and then I'll ask my producer extraordinaire, Tana, to help me out and find you.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, no
All right.
problem.
Thank you so much for your time, and I will talk to you again offline.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thanks. I'm really sorry we have a lot of callers today, and I might not be able to get to everyone, so I might not be able to get to the chat questions. I'm going to take phone calls, and know that you're more than welcome to call on Friday, 1 o'clock show, if you'd like. So my next call is going to be Brittany from Southern California.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for taking me.
I'm so excited to have you. How can I help you today?
I have a question. I've really been shifting in energy-wise. I'm doing things to like raise my vibration. And just yesterday, or was yesterday or the day before, it was just one of these days that I was doing some Tibet sound bowl healing as per like a meditation. And I had this vision in my third eye where I saw this face. and there was like green energy, but the face turned into something that I wasn't familiar with. And I'm hoping that maybe you can give me some insight on this. My whole body just became really warm. I don't know what that was or what's happening.
I think, first of all, amazing and congratulations, because this is stuff that people, aspire to do after years and years and years of practice. So congratulations. I also want you to know that you are in 33 is like the best year ever that I know in my my years of experience, because this is the year that you are going to really kick butt, and you can feel it, right? What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like things are really starting to like manifest a lot faster.
Yeah, and I'm really excited that you're listening, because a lot of times when this happens, especially in a woman's life, that they don't really pay attention. They hear it and they listen a little bit, but you're really tuning in. So I'm excited for you. You're in a year of alignment, which is so exciting to me, and that means that vibrationally, your emotions are kicking butt. You're really starting to feel that out. Physically, you're really paying attention to your body, which is amazing. And then you've got your intuitive body that's kicking in too. And so what I'm hearing is that in your intuitive third eye, that you're an incredible healer, and that you have a great way of communicating with people that is, it's really sweet, it's gentle, and yet it's to the point, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? I wish you were my mom. Let's just put it that way. I love my mom, but you know what I'm saying? You're the type of person that will be really sweet, gentle, bring it to the point, so it wouldn't be the truths aren't so painful. And for you, that's what healing is all about, because you've had it pretty rough. Really, so and so you have this compassionate side that wants to make it gentle without taking away any of the experience, right?
Right.
So anything that you can do to tune. So the Tibetan bowls are really great. Tuning forks would be really good for you. Having any kind of music meditation, anything that has some kind of rhythm will bring you into alignment, and it's going to pop you right back into this space. Don't worry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I listened to Stephen Halpern's Healing with the Angels, and that has afforded me connection with sacred geometry and the angels.
Well,
it's so cool.
I have a feeling that this is a really good start for you, and then you're going to break off and you're going to smush all this stuff together, and it's going to be like you're going to have Britney speak. So, you take a little bit here, a little bit there, and I think that's fantastic, because to me that's what a modern day mystic is. You take all your experiences, which is what you're doing, and you bring it into your physical self, your practical self, and you just bring it forward. And you're hitting it. You're hitting it out of the park right now. Now, I want you to know that you're hitting it out of the park right now so well that if sometimes, I'm going to use baseball analogies, that sometimes if you swing and a miss, that's absolutely okay. Right? It's absolutely okay. That's the way days go, because we're human and we have to experience the mishaps as well. Okay?
Right.
But when you do connect, it's going to be amazing. I want you to know that in the next year, 2017, the connection is going to feel a little bit different. It's not going to feel any less. It's just going to feel different. So it won't feel like it's such a that the connection is such that you have to be completely plugged in. You'll have a trust that no matter what, you're plugged in, and that you are more yourself, and you'll be walking with it with even more confidence. So, yeah. So just so you know, you're going to get some really big visions, some really big energetic surges, not splurges. Sorry about that. You can have splurges too, but you'll have some energetic surges, and that's what the warmth is. Don't be surprised if after you have this, if you sometimes you get goosebumps, because all that means is that you transitioned out a little bit faster than what you normally do. So this is a great year of experience for you. Okay.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
I'm super excited for you. Super excited for you. So hopefully I'll hear from you, sometime later on the radio show, but on the other side as a professional.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
I would love that. Is that something that you would like to do, is to do this professionally?
Well, the thing is, I work in the entertainment performing arts, so I ultimately want to use that platform to bring this mysticism to the world, pretty much.
Well, you're right on track. You're right on track. Super excited for you. Just know that you will be collaborating as well, and the collaboration is going to be. It's not going to be the way. It's not traditional. It's almost as if you have a best friend that talks to you in the background, and then you. So they're kind of like they're like the silent partner, so to speak. So it's not going to be the same kind of collaboration that you would normally think about in entertainment.
Wow.
Okay.
That's exciting too. Thank you.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah. So super cool, super exciting. I hope that you really enjoy this year and that we get back together and talk about this.
Absolutely, for sure. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much. And for all the people that I could not get to today, I wish I had some more time. Please know that I'm happy to work with you one-on-one, or that you can come visit me in Berkeley for my classes. I can be reached at Cynthia@everydaymystic.com or www.cynthiavarkevisser.com. You can also find me on Facebook or at Angel Heart for You. Thank you so much, Tana, for helping me. She is such a great producer. Thank you to everyone who listened in. I am so extremely grateful. If you have heard any of my past radio shows and are curious about some of the meditations, please just give me a quick shout out, and I'm happy to get that for you. I hope you have an amazing week, that you walk with yourself in alignment. It's the best way to walk. And I will catch you again on Friday at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Just remember that we have some other rockin' people on the shows. We have Linda Grindle tomorrow, and we have Cher on Wednesday, and Miranda on Fridays. Have a great, 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 great week. See you later. Bye.
Thank you for listening to another empowering show. Tune in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday and Friday to hear our live shows. Learn more about our live shows at www.angelheartforyouradio.com and keep tuning in to the Angel Heart for You radio channel.